Welcome back to Thomas Gear Rods again, boys and girls. Good afternoon. Yes, today, pal, it's a Craftsman YS4500. That fella says he's let this thing sit for years and he wants to get it going again. So what he did was blew his seat off on the way over here. Boy, it's gonna be uncomfortable. He said he put a new battery in it. Cranked it and cranked it. Ran this new battery dead. I had to charge it overnight on a 2 amp overnight. It seems to hold a charge. All right, 21 horse single cylinder Intek Briggs and Stratton overhead valve. Yeah. He put fresh fuel in it. He said he replaced the fuel filter and all that, and he said it just don't want to run. Let's get this thing in the air and look at it. All right. It's got that Intek carburetor, which I am not about to. We're gonna get a new carburetor for that. I got one on the shelf. Wow, 594-605. This is the Marlboro style. Much better carburetor. Much better. So we'll put this on there. I ain't gonna mess with that Nicky. Well, let's see. We're gonna give this thing a good service. Let's turn it over, see how well the battery's charged. Brakes are set. She's not wanting to crank. I may spray a little carb cleaner in there. Whew, no way. Golly, I can smell it already. Nasty. Ugh. It says he took the fuel tank off and cleaned it real good, so let's lower the table and look in there. Let's go around here and look. Oh, look at that. That cap is coming all to pieces. Ooh, and it fell down in there. Oh my gosh, look at that. Yeah, we're gonna take this fuel tank back off again. Get all that cleaned out. There's something over there. That's where the fuel line connects to the bottom of the tank. You got a little grommet. Wow. I'm sure I've got another fuel cap. We're gonna just finish breaking this off. Wow. Okay. Set that over there. Ooh. All right, let's get this hood taken off. Get it out of our way. Get out of our way. Out you go. Oh, let's stay over here. All right. Clamp off this fuel line. And let's raise it a little bit. Go ahead and drain whatever's in there. I got to figure out too why the steering is so stiff. It takes everything you have to turn the wheels on this thing. I hope these steering spindles ain't froze up. See that? You can't do it. Let me grab the steering wheel. Yeah. Ooh, could you imagine trying to cut grass like that? That's one thing we got to figure out too, is why it's doing that. You've got a gear on the bottom under the frame there. We'll check it out. Well, let's go ahead and drain that fuel. Little piece of pipe I like to keep over there. Puts a weight on it. Little 3/8 piece of 6-inch Plymouth pipe, galvanized pipe. See, I can see some black stuff coming out of it already. Little pieces of plastic. Little pieces of plastic. Alright, I believe that's going to be a 3/8 or a 10 millimeter. You got 2 screws that hold that down, and that's basically really it. You don't have a vent line going through it because it vents through the cap. There's the 3/8. You know, it takes real talent to get choked on your own spit. It really does. I just want to put that out there. All right, there's one. That looks pretty fresh. We'll put some really fresh fuel in it. Well, let's see, we got to work our way around this solenoid. Starter solenoid. Make sure we're not touching it hot. And we'll go back around here. Let this thing finish draining. I'm going to go ahead and get this cover taken off. Two screws there. Two screws in the back. Grab a little 3/8 ratchet wrench. You got to take this cover off so you can get this intake tube off. And don't forget, you got one little screw back here that goes through the cover into this to hold this whole thing more stable. Probably easier to get to this thing once you get the fuel tank out of the way. She's almost empty, and that little bucket's almost full. You don't have to take these screws all the way out, just get it past that little shoulder right there. Oh God, that was tight. Well, we know the starting system is good. We'll have to check the charging system. And we'll grab a little quarter driver, one little screw right there. The head of that thing is awful rusty. Just a little coarse thread that screws into plastic. Set that over here. And we'll get this cover over. Watch out for creepy crawlies. That's the first thing I always look for when somebody tells me something's been sitting. Okay. Looks pretty good. Before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and test the spark. Yeah, he's put a new spark plug in it too. Not a good place to ground it. Let's walk over here and turn the key. Let's see, everything's out of the way, everything's good. Well, we got pretty good spark. That's good. Shoo! Good Lord, I can smell that bad gas. Ugh. I was going to take this nicky carburetor apart just for giggles and see how nasty it is, but I don't want to get that nasty gas on my hands. God, you'd smell it for days. You would. Ugh. Let's see, 7/16. We needed a 5/16 big well. Go ahead and push this crankcase vent hose. We'll go ahead and push that off. Give me that nut right there. Parking brake is right in my way. See that little screws in right there. Otherwise, this is not very stable. The only thing holding this entire thing would be this intake. It was plastic. Whew, that stinks. All right. Let's get the studs taken out. Unplug the solenoid. Choke link out of the way. Throttle linkage out of the way. Spring right there. All right. Golly, that thing stinks so bad. I'm going to put it in a Ziploc bag right here. I don't even want to pour it out. I'm just going to get it sealed up in this bag. And set this on the other side of the shop. This thing will stink. Woo! Let's set it over here. Alright, she's finished draining. I thought. It's probably just clogged up. It is. That's why it quit draining, because all that stuff is down there in the very bottom where the pickup is. Nasty. There's still a few little things floating around in there. Let's take it by the door. There goes Elvis Mower. Through this, make sure the line's clear. All right. All right. We're pretty clean now. This fuel filter, this fuel screen. As you know, it's got to be full. We're going to go ahead and replace all these fuel lines too, because they're probably coming apart on the inside. That's what happens when fuel lines get old. Little particles of it start coming off. Yep. Save these clamps. that sounds like thunder. See that climb right there too. Come over there. I don't want to hurt that little grommet right there. We'll just take and cut the fuel line so we can get it past them barbs. Trying to be real gentle with this thing. Get that thumb out of the way. Well, that thing is on there. Can't even cut this stuff. There we go. Let's see. I am trying to be real easy on this. It's like trying to hang on to a cat. Yeah, we got it. Just had to make sure we cut it all the way through. Stick on that big barb right there. Just blow a little puff of air through there, make sure it's clear. Okay, here we go, we got that. You can see all the stuff that come out of that. Whew. Terrible. Now let's set this out of the way, far, far away somewhere. All right, let's grab some fuel line. Let's see, this quarter-inch. Let's see, we took about that much off. Let's grab us a fresh fuel screen. All right. A little squirt of some WD so we can squeeze this back on there. There we go. Still this other clamp. Curious about this other fuel screen. Don't see nothing coming out of it. Hold up to the light here and kind of look through it. You can't really see through it. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's do the carburetor and all this stuff before we put this on, because that cover will be a lot easier to put on with that fuel tank out of the way. All right. Put a little spring on there. Get that on there. That on there. Swing around. Stick it in this little groove. Let that hang. That, that. Gasket. Can't find it. There it is. Okay. I don't want to use the impact on these. Give it a little snugging. A little snugging. All right. Put this back on. Put a little nut duck on there. With these aftermarket carburetors, I have learned this choke can stick sometimes. But it's not. That's good. Okay. Put the cover back on. You got to make doubly sure that this fin, that cooling tin right there, has got to go in here. You can see where the tabs were. You just got to make sure it sits perfectly down in there, and this has to go on the outside of this. If you get that on the inside, when you crank this thing over, it's going to knock all these fins off. Because all that's plastic. All of that is plastic. Let's lower the camera a little bit. Let's grab a flashlight. Boom. See, that goes on the outside of that. And you got to make doubly sure that's got to sit in there just a certain way inside that fin, just like that. Just like that right there. I see so many times these things come in and that thing's just brrr, flapping around. Let's plug the spark plug back in. All right. Everything is in, everything is down. Raise the camera back up. All right, let's plug in the solenoid before we forget. Let's twist it around here a little bit. It won't let me. There it goes. And it don't matter which direction you put this plug in there. All right, let's get the two front ones in first. Turn the flashlight off, I'm wasting my battery. Make sure you don't cross thread, because that is aluminum. Aluminum. Where's my ratchet? Somebody stole it. Well, they did. They just took right off with it. I didn't even see him come in. Well, where did it go? Oh, I hung it back up. Not too tight. It is aluminum. Snug. Snug. Okay, now, okay, forget that little screw. That rust is helping hold this thing to the tool. Oh. There's a little hole right there. See, without that screw, this whole thing is just, it's not well supported. Be gentle with that, but see now you can't move it at all. I see that little screw missing all the time, or just pulled through because people don't realize it's there. Okay, let's put the gas tank back on there. Something coming up this little groove right here. Dead. This throttle cable will come out of this little groove back there and wouldn't let me go in. And that's supposed to be hooked somewhere. Maybe right there, I bet you. Somewhere in there. Just a little bit far right there. Okay. Alright, let's go over here and check the solenoid, because it's got to go right down beside that solenoid. Okay, we're good. Gotta find the hole. Somebody stole the hole. There it is. You got to realize, especially on Troy belts, when you take this fuel tank off, this whole thing, this whole console will spread. Not really on this. This is a Husqvarna here. This Craftsman is. I'll be very gentle with this because this is going into very thin threaded metal. Easy. Let's go over and hit this one. I heard a fire truck. Easy, easy, easy. If you strip that out, all you gotta do is put a nut under it. Preferably a lock nut for vibration purposes. All right, now let's see how much more fuel line we're gonna need. Just gotta run down through there. From there to there. You know, they tell you to take a knife and cut this center section out. It's kind of perforated. I didn't want to do that though, because it'll cut the darn fuel line. That wouldn't be good for anybody. So I had that notch cut in the lid so you could just pull it out, but it kept getting tangled. I just had to fight with it. Somebody stole them. No, there they are. Okay. Looks pretty good. What I'm going to do is put a zip tie around this. I can go around here with it. I'm going to put a zip tie to that, or a zip tie all of it. I got to give me some fuel line cutters. I think I got a set of it over there. I'll use these things when you're putting your fuel line up. I would use a razor blade, but I can't never keep a good sharp razor blade. Every time I get a new blade on there, I do something stupid and dull the new razor blade. Okay, grab a zip tie. Let's see, we can go. Just make sure you're not interfering with the governor arm or anything like that. Not real tight. You don't want to pinch off the fuel line. So that's good right there. All right. Carburetor, fuel line, fuel filter, clean the fuel tank. We have got to find him another fuel cap. But for the time being, this is him looking on fuel cap box. So if we got something in here we can use instead of this crazy. Look, they're still falling apart. God. Okay. No valves. It's got to be a vented cap too, so that's for a Honda. I don't believe that one's vented. Is it? I don't see a hole in it anywhere. That's for Briggs. Like going here. Looks like same threads. Roll that thing out the way. Put it on there like that. Clean that thing real good. All that dust in here, man, it just covers everything. I'm gonna have to take a week and just vacuum everything in here. This place gets messy and dusty. I don't think that cap is gonna work. Yeah, it should. Yeah, it will. Okay. Set this on the side. Well, let's stick this. Well, there's an echo cap still in there. This is the kind of stuff you just accumulate over the years having a lawnmower shop. I got a box just for pull handles and just all these different gaskets and diaphragms and all that stuff you just accumulate. I got 4 boxes of old carburetors I love to save and use parts off them, solenoids and choke shafts and springs and all kinds of good stuff. All right, let's lower the table, put some fuel in it. We're gonna see if it runs. We are. So this over here. Yeah, new carburetor is way cheaper than spending 2 or 3 hours trying to clean one old one without any guarantees it's gonna work. Let's lower the table, put some fuel in it. Grab a gas can. place to set this gasket there. Set it right there with the footboard. That way we ain't got so far to travel. I don't believe this is a vented gas cap either. Well, we'll just have to use it for now. Let's go over here and grab the pump. And there's my flashlight. Put it back over here. Let's see. Around this way. I need to be on the other side so I can watch in case anything starts leaking. It's pretty dry over there so far. I think my batteries in this pump starting to get weak. It takes 2 D-sized batteries. Double D's. Give him a little more, get this gas can lighter for me. Everything's looking pretty clean in there. Just having to pull the fuel up and push it up. That's the reason it's not as powerful. And these batteries are getting weak too, that's probably good. Let some of that drain back in there. All right, up on there. Spout back on the can. Put these back into place. Ooh. All right, we'll come back over here. That bowl should have had time to fill by now. It took us a good minute or two to fill the tank. Don't see no leaks. All right. So neutral, parking brake is set. Laser's disengaged. Let's see what we got. Let's give it a choke. Got a little surge to it. I'm going to open up that secondary idle jet right there. All right. We'll come right over here. Right now, you can do a little bit. I'll use a second to the smallest one because I think I broke the tip off the smallest one. believe it did. I did. Uh-oh. Somebody wants to give me a little bit of mail. All right. That was my old mailman, Kirby. I got him a tractor for him. He's gonna come and get it. All right, let's get this little... I think it's so small I don't want to grab. I don't have the one that broke, do I? Did I lay that one back down? Yeah, that is the one I broke. Ooh, about to cut myself with it. Yeah, this is the good one. I can actually see the tip on this. So. Yeah, this one's got a good tip. This one's not broke. So that's good. That's good, that's good. Go slow, this is brass. That's all you want to do. Now let's blow this thing out while no shavings getting anywhere. Yeah, this one's actually got a little slit right here. You can get a screwdriver through there. I had one the other day I had to do this too, and I had to actually eyeball it and drill a little hole for the screwdriver. A little slit right there. A little slit for the screwdriver. Don't cross thread it. And it don't have to be overly tight either. There we go. All right. See if that surgeon's out of it now. Better than it was. I'm going to go one size bigger. I am. Let's go one size bigger. Oh, I just dumped them out. In a hurry. I'm dead. I dumped them all out. Most of them anyway. The ones I needed to use. Let's see what this one was. This one was the second one. Let's see, this one was. Yeah, that's the next size up right there. We'll use this one. If it's a little bit taller, you can see how they go in succession. Just be very gentle and try to go perfectly down. Oh, I don't have a good hold on it. All you want to do, just a little bit. Give it a little puff of air. All right, back in we go. There we go. Now let's see what that gives us. She seems to run pretty good. Seems to run pretty good. Pull this deck all the way down. Check his pulleys, they feel good. We'll run it all the way up and check his transmission belt and his transmission pulleys. The blade belt looks good. The blades look pretty good. They're just rusty. I'm gonna put a fresh edge on them. Change the oil because it's a little dark. And that's basically it. Make sure I'm gonna make sure I grease it real good. Get it up in the air, turn, see if I can make that steer, and I'll do another video on that. I'm gonna grab a flashlight. Oh, let's take a look over here. Transmission belt looks pretty darn good from what I can see of it. Let's lower the camera. We'll go under. The belts look pretty good. We'll reach over here and, oh yeah, the pulleys feel pretty good. They feel pretty good. To get my hand out from under there. I don't know where this thing's been sitting and for how long. Well, all right, boys and girls, we got this thing running. That's what I wanted to do. I was not about to try to clean that Nicky carburetor. No, not me. Carburetors are cheap. Well, all right, boys and girls, thanks for watching another WD YS4500 Craftsman video. Oil change, sharpen the blades, and that's basically it. Grease it, get the front end eased up a little bit. Y'all be good, boys and girls. Holler if you need me. Take your vitamins and eat your vegetables. I actually said that right that time. Tell somebody you love them. Say something positive about one person today. Love y'all. Catch y'all in the next video.